All right.
We are live. Welcome everybody to this week's Too Sweet Converse. We are on episode 17. 17. What a dream. I am Nico.
Steve-O here.
Wild card.
EJV.
All right, everyone. This is a special edition of Too Sweet Converse. This weekend would have been Wizard World 2020 in Chicago, but unfortunately, due to COVID-19, the convention will not be taking place this year, unfortunately. However, we want to do a special look back at Wizard World in general and share our thoughts and memories of this amazing con. So, starting this one off, let's talk about our first ever Wizard World experiences and how we kind of got into this. Um, I want to hear what you guys, where you guys heard about Wizard World from, what your first convention was like, and also some of the guests you've met, and if you did a cosplay at the first Wizard World, or if you kind of pursued that in a later edition. Who would like to start their thoughts off on this one? EJV, take it away.
My first con actually, or my first Wizard World, shall we say, is Wizard World 2014, and it was with my compadre here, Nico. Him and I went. I knew about Wizard World for a few years, but it wasn't my thing at the time, and I never really experienced that because I always thought, Comic Cons are cool and all this stuff. But then I heard about Bray Wyatt and Paige showing up, and me and Nico got together and we decided we're gonna go because of the Eater Worlds and the anti diva, I guess you could call her that. And it's just been we went there and it was just a great time. We got to explore the con. My first ever cosplay I ever did was a version of Bray Wyatt, and that would be my first ever one, and then that would actually be the catalyst to what I would bring forth to what eventually would be Too Sweet Cosplay with my gentleman here. So the first guest I ever met was Bray, and Bray was one of the nicest individuals ever. Ran late, still took time with everybody, still did every autograph, every photo op, apologized to every fan for being late, even though he never needed to. A great guy, gentleman of the trade. But that's what started to callous to me loving cons and especially loving Wizard World itself. So that's my story.
All right, very nice, EJV. Who would like to go over their first Wizard World experience next?
Yeah. I had to really reflect on this, man, because Wizard World 2011 was actually my first con ever, and I've heard of it, and I didn't really know anything about it because like E said, cons. They just weren't my thing at the time, but it just seemed right because I was into the things that what make Comic Cons, honestly. I heard of this actually from my sister, who was actually a big con goer herself, and she was actually the first one that really introduced me to the con scene. And she had some extra passes to Wizard World, and she asked me if I wanted them. And I was just like, well, what is Wizard World? And she explained to me what it was, and I'm just like, oh, this sounds interesting. And I figured I'd just go with my friend and just check it out. And this was like not even in cosplay. I was just in casual clothes. And then when I stepped foot inside the convention hall, that's when everything just hit me. I'm just like, I'm in love with this place, man. I'm just in love with the scene. I love the people. Like, I saw so many awesome cosplays. It was so like it just all just basically just was thrown at me at once. I mean, I can't even describe it, man. In terms of celebrities that I met, I mean, there was just so many at the time. There was actually some wrestling guests that attended this Wizard World in 2011. Toy Wilson was one there too. Maria Canales was there. Sunny was there. Tammy Lynn Sitch was there. And quite a few other I wouldn't say A-list celebrities there too, but I had a chance to chat with them. I don't know if you guys remember who Skull was from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers show, Jason Narvi. He was there. I was blown away just because I'm just like, oh my god, it's Skull. I can't believe it, because I didn't even know who was going to be at this thing. And I was just amazed by just the atmosphere, the cosplayers, and then eventually it just grew into something that I've grown to love to this day. So I mean, the rest is history after that.
Nico, what was your first Wizard World experience, if you want to share?
Yeah. I'm gonna just have to hold my camera down a little bit like this, because I'm struggling a bit right now. Okay. Anyways, yeah, my first Wizard World experience was back in 2014 with E. I had been wanting to go years prior, mainly because CM Punk was always the big like wrestling name that they would bring in a few years before, and I remember I missed it in 2013 because I saw the pricing and I thought it was a bit outrageous. But little did I know that that was just VIP pricing. I didn't know that back then you could. Well, I mean, still now you can buy general admission, like meet and greets for certain guests, but that the VIPs got you in all 4 days with admission. I didn't know that. Um, Plus, with my financial situation at the time, I always thought, oh, I can just go 1 day, so I got to figure it out. 2014, I'm like, all right, I made a mission that year. I made it a mission that year that even before the summer, I'm like, okay, I'm going to Wizard World this year. Like, I have to go. I told Ezra, EJV, I'm like, dude, we got to do this. Wrestlers are there. We got to go. And he's like, agreed. Um, Punk, of course, um, ends up leaving WWE or, gets fired on his wedding day. Different topic for a different day. But looking at the lineup, I was like, oh, they have Paige coming. They have Bray Wyatt coming. They have, I think later on that weekend was Bruno Sammartino. Um, and I can't remember who else. Um, those are just the three that stand out to me. But one of the days was Paige and Bray Wyatt. And I go, I love Paige. She's my exact age. She's the anti diva. She's absolutely gorgeous. I want to meet her. Ezra goes, I want to meet Bray Wyatt. We're like, holy shit, it's a sign from God. They're there on the exact same day. Okay, that's the day we're going. Um, you guys remember this scene from Willy Wonka where the kids finally enter the chocolate factory and it's like you're in a whole new magical like world?
That's
That's the
exactly
feeling.
how I felt when I entered Wizard World, man.
And I was like, dude, what have I done my entire life? Like not going to these. Like I'm like, what? Uh then I met a year later, or was it 2 years later? Because I met you at the Becky signing, right? Because you were Johnny Cage. A couple years later at Becky Lynch's Q&A.
Well,
But after
we
2014,
we met at another con, which I guess it's okay to
yeah.
say on here, but C2E2. That's where we officially met. But then I think we reconvened at Wizard World.
But anyhow, um, 2014. After 2014, I looked over at E. I was like, dude, we have to at least go 1 day every year for the remainder of our lives. That was our plan. Um, and I've been going to Wizard World ever since 2014. At the end of the night, my first night there with E, as he talked about earlier, we met Paige and then we're waiting for Bray Wyatt. People are like, oh, Bray Wyatt's flight got delayed. Um, he's coming later. You guys can leave and get a refund for that part, or you guys can stay. I talked to everybody. I was like, what do you want to do? Do you want to go home or do you want to stay? We're on the fence about it. And then finally, my ride, aka my mom, yeah, Trent and Chucky T, you stole our gimmick, having your mom drive you to everything. My mom was doing it first. Anyway, she's like, why don't you guys just stay? It's, your guys' first con experience. Why don't you guys just stay? I'm like, all right, cool, we're staying. And so we stay, we wait. The entire Wizard World staff was great. Bray Wyatt comes out screaming, I made it. And he was just super energetic and super apologetic to the fans for being late because his flight got delayed. And the ironic, cool thing about it, and I didn't even plan this, the shirt I was wearing, because I wore like an Hawaiian T-shirt to kind of be like Bray, with a Cuban Puerto Rican hat, which is almost similar to the type of hat that Bray Wyatt used to wear with his Eater of Worlds gimmick. Um, my shirt, my color scheme of my tropical shirt actually matched the color scheme of his shirt that he was actually wearing. So I thought that was pretty cool for me as a fan. It was one of those serendipitous moments type of deal. That was pretty cool. So yeah, that was my first Wizard World experience, and I've been doing Wizard World ever since.
Very nice. So I'm a little older, of course. I actually started back in 2005. I heard a radio commercial that George Lowe, if you're not familiar with him, he's the voice of Space Ghost from Space Ghost Coast to Coast and plays Brack's dad on the Brack Show. He was going to be there. I heard Mick Foley was going to be there. So I was like, oh my God, I got to request off work and go. So I didn't wear cosplay for the 2005 Wizard World. However, I was like, oh yeah, I was there. I heard that Twisted, who I liked at the time, was there. So I went to meet them. They were 100% free to meet. They were very nice guests, very caring. They even said something that really stood out to me. Fans should be able to go to these things and just meet their favorite celebrities without having to pay. That's how it should be. Which, I mean, it definitely isn't how it is, but I did really appreciate their kind words with that, and they were very nice to their fans. George Lowe was hilarious. He pretty much was Space Ghost in real life, so I really liked that part. I got to meet Mick Foley. He was a pretty nice guy. Got a photo, and he autographed my Have a Nice Day book, so it was great to meet him at the time. Let's see. Make sure I got. So, like I said, I didn't cosplay at this Wizard World, but when I returned, pretty much like 4 years later in 2009, I did go as Disco Stu from The Simpsons. It was awesome. Got to meet DDP. Did a diamond cutter. You'll see that in the video package later. So that's pretty much my experience with the first ever Wizard World I've been to. I could go on for a long time on that, but I'm going to refrain from going any further than that. So the next topic we're going to talk about in relation to Wizard World is going to be the Too Sweet Cosplay booth and how it all got started. So we're going to take you down memory lane in just a bit. So I'll let any of you guys start and just see how you guys got in connection with me and starting this whole thing and kind of go from there. I'd like to take this one.
I'll take it. Me and this was around the time I'll make it quick too. I know we're low on time, but me and Andy and Nico had been hanging out for a little while now. We've been hanging out for a couple years, and I noticed that there were so many different groups, Power Rangers groups. There was different, like Age of the Geeks. Shout out to our buddy Rob Fury. There's been a lot of other groups out there, and we're just like, I looked at him and we were over by the autograph tables, and we were both like, why isn't there a wrestling group? Why is there not a wrestling cosplay group? There's wrestling cosplays out there, but there's not a group that you can show what they're made of and how talented they are at their cosplays and show how creative they are. And we just looked at each other. We're like, why don't we start one? And we thought of the idea, and that's when you'll probably see this photo maybe in the video recap of me, Andy, and Nico throwing the Too Sweet together. And that was the catalyst that would become Too Sweet Cosplay. Andy would then get in touch with Steve-O, who has done so many WWE Cosplay Day photo shoots. So we had that experience from him, Andy being an experienced cosplayer. Nico being the great mouthpiece that he is, and me with me just being who I am. I'm not going to specify, but it's just been a that's kind of how the whole thing first started, and it just really snowballed into there on how we got that, and then of course we'll talk about what led to the booth and everything, in just a moment. But that's pretty much the story of how Too Sweet Cosplay was first formed.
Would like to share their origin stories of Too Sweet Cosplay.
I'll go. I'll be brief about this too, because essentially E basically said everything that needed to be said. But I met Iko and Ezra a few. I forgot which year it was. Maybe you guys can recall, but
I think it was 2015 C2E2 or 2016 C2E2.
Okay, all right, yeah. I was gonna say that I met those guys at that year, and and then I started seeing them a little bit more, and we were just like, oh hey, we actually we're huge wrestling fans. I think I was wearing a Bullet Club shirt at the time, so I mean that was. That was like, okay, we just kind of clicked on the spot there, and and then we got into the discussion of the whole wrestling cosplay thing, and it just kind of blew up from there. And then I'm just like, because I knew Steve from Anime Central, because I actually attended your shoot, I believe in 2016. I believe that was actually the first shoot that I attended. I was doing my Dean Ambrose cosplay there. Yeah, in his Shield days. That was actually the first WWE cosplay day that I attended, and I thought it was like the greatest thing on like ever. Just to see that, because I just never really thought that there'd be an actual like a community of cosplayers that do like pro wrestling cosplays. And I'm just like, you know what? I gotta talk to Steve and see if he wants in on this, because I think with his experience, Steve, I thought you would be a huge help, and believe me, you've helped out a lot on this. So for I think that just combining our our own unique skill sets made Too Sweet Cosplay what it is today. So I feel like it was a team effort on everybody's part.
Thank you. I appreciate those kind words. Nico, go ahead and share your origin story.
Yeah, it's funny. Ezra and I met Andy, like he said, we met him at another con. He was wearing a Bullet Club muscle t-shirt, but he was doing like a Casey Jones Bullet Club crossover type of deal. And I was like, Bullet Club, and like we threw up the Too Sweet right away. And then like a year later, at Wizard World 2016, I saw Andy dressed up as Johnny Cage. And I didn't even realize it was him. I just saw a cool looking Johnny Cage cosplay. And I was like, yo, can I get a picture? And he's like, yeah. He's like, yo, I remember you. I was like, oh, hey, what's up, dude? Like, no shit. And then, like, we're just like, hey. And then, like, a year later at another con, we're all looking at each other. I love how Ezra was like earlier, like, I suggested, why isn't there a wrestling cosplay group? It was the three of us together who all suggested it. And then, like, it was super cool because we just took that photo and, like, Andy messages, the three of us are talking, and he goes, hey, I'm real serious about this. We should all do it. And then Andy goes, I know a guy. That guy turns out to be Steve-O. I was a little hesitant getting Steve-O involved because I didn't know him. And right away, he starts being the big brother, Papa Bear type to all of us. And I'm like, this fucking guy. But it turned out the greatest move ever to have him and Rocky involved. I know. Wrapping it up.
Let me just add something to that, Steve. You and Raquel are like you're like our mom and dad of the group in a sense. They're too trying to keep us all in line. Just
you
to
are,
let you know.
I try.
Yeah, I'm the older. I'm like the older brother here. He's the middle child, and Nico, you are the baby of the bunch.
I'm the baby. Wait. Does that mean I'm the adorable one of the group? Yes.
Oh, I never said that.
I'm the baby. Gotta love me.
Yep. Anyway, but yeah, that was just kind of the genesis of it, because we were like, man, why aren't there wrestling cosplay groups, especially in Chicago? We're like, why not? And then we kind of got the nod from people that we knew that were also wrestling fans, people like Rob Fury and Age of the Geeks. They're like, that's freaking genius. You guys should do it. And then lo and behold, which we'll get into here in a minute, Wizard World says, hey, we want to, promote you guys. And we're just like, what? Like, okay, cool. Um, but yeah, I'll get into that. But that's sort of the origin of, us kind of started at Wizard World a little bit. So yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, yeah. I'm blessed you guys did reach out to me. In the past, I ran WWE Cosplay Day photo shoots at Ace, and they were all very fun. Started off small and back in 2013. Each year they progressively got bigger. Shout out to Lisa Marie Verone showing up for the second photo shoot. Can't thank her enough for doing that. That definitely gave it some more exposure there. But each year it kept growing. Like Wildcard mentioned, we did meet in 2016. I thought his Dean Ambrose cosplay was awesome, and I thought, oh great, he's definitely a great wrestling cosplayer, and it seems like he's interested. I saw him again at C2E2, and then I saw him again at Wizard World for some of the cosplay shoots, and you're going to see some of those photos, so stay tuned for in the video. But I connected with Nico and Ezra as well, EJV, sorry. But anyways, just creating the entrance. Wildcard suggested, hey, let's do an entrance set at there. I'm like, we've never done one at one of our photo shoots. We could try to do it. So kind of looked online, and eventually we picked up the theme, created a banner, which I thought was very amazing. And then just everything kept coming together. Eventually we got the entrance set. You could see various entrance videos on our YouTube page, especially from Wizard World. More to come soon, so stay tuned. But yeah,
those are a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Those are a lot of fun.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, it's been a blast since Wizard World gave us our big first start. I'm sure everyone here wants to agree. Want to give a quick shout out to Sammy Levine and Jonathan, and I apologize if I botched the last name, Jonathan Jerkzak, for helping us with the spaces and kind of helping us establish our group at Wizard World Chicago. Before we get to the next topic, something I forgot to mention. Do you guys have a favorite entrance in your memory for many of the cosplayers, whether you've done it yourself or in general? I'll be quick and I'll say the Incredible Hulk Hogan at Wizard World 2017, I believe, was one of my personal favorite ones.
Oh, the Scott Steiner one. It wasn't at Wizard World, but the Scott Steiner one was just epic right there.
One of our top most viewed videos, by the way. Go see it on our page.
I have to go with our good friend Michael Benedict. Shout out to him. Him and his family dressed up as, especially him, he dressed up as Enzo Amore. Had the microphone in hand and everything, man. And it was just awesome to see him come out and do the Enzo entrance. Full speaking voice and everything. It was just awesome.
Nico, you got a favorite?
Yeah, for me, I don't have an individual favorite, but for me, it's the ones when you see people come by our booth, they're intrigued by it. They're like, ooh, what's this? And then when we tell them what it is, and then we're like, hey, give it a try. It's for free. Just do it. Just have fun. And they just go and they have like the time of their lives for that 2 minutes or whatever. I remember there was this little girl this was in 2017 when we had the booth. No, wait, what was the first year we had the booth? Was it 16 or 17?
17, I think.
Yep,
Okay.
17.
It was the years the Hardys came back to WWE because they were there. Anyway, that there's this girl in a Jeff Hardy shirt. She's with her mom, and they're just walking, and she sees it, and when I say, hey, would you like to try it? It's free. Her eyes just lit up. And she's like, Mom, can I please do this? And the mom's like, go ahead. And she doesn't. She has the time of her life. And to me, that's what it's about. That's why we had the fan booth. And that's why we will continue to do that. And that's why for Wizard World, I'm forever grateful that they gave us, our first shot. That to me is the moments right there.
Yeah, I want to add something to that there, man. You know, Nico mentioned something that I mean, he made a really good point on. Especially with a lot of congoers who don't necessarily watch wrestling, but they are intrigued by what we're doing and what exactly is our booth. They probably have never seen a wrestling show in their lives, and they try this entrance set here too. They do it and they actually have a good time with it there too. I mean, in a way, we're providing something to the community that they've never really been exposed to that really belongs in that community, because in a way we're putting smiles on people's faces in a sense, especially when I see kids do it there too. I mean, they see the entrance set, they know what to do. I remember this one kid one time, he really wanted to do the Hardy Boys entrance, and like I remember he was like so excited about it, and then he ends up doing it. The theme is blasted, and there does a thing, Jeff Hardy thing there. But just seeing the look on their faces, I'm just like, man, this is why we're doing this. I mean, this is just a friendly reminder that we're doing this because we love to do this, and I just can't wait to get back into it. When we can. I just to put smiles on people's faces like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Nothing beats the con goers showing praise to the booth and people even asking, "Hey, can you bring this booth to so and so event?" Or even getting people on, not even in our state, or some cases not even the country, asking, "Hey, can you bring this over to this convention or this to this?" I mean, if we could ever figure out the logistics to actually make it happen, I'd be all in. So stay tuned. We'll figure it out hopefully one of these days. The next topic we're going to talk about in regards to our Wizard World experiences is some of our favorite guests that we've met in Wizard World Chicago. Some could be wrestling, some could be non-wrestling. Yeah, give us a few of your favorites. Who would like to start this one off?
I'll go.
Nico, go for it.
For me, favorite guest, probably wrestling related wise from Wizard World, probably Bailey. Um, you'll see this photo in the slideshow. A mutual buddy of ours, his name is Nick Duss. I call him Goldie. Nick Kerwick, from Wisconsin, is somebody I met through wrestling and through the con circuit, who's a real good friend of mine now. He had a ring because the year prior he had done a photo op where he proposed to Paige, and it got over and it was real cute and adorable and all that jazz. And he goes, "Hey, Nico, I dare you to do it with Bailey." I go, "You dare me to do what?" He goes, "I dare you to propose to Bailey." And for me, um, when somebody dares me to do something, it's the equivalent of calling Marty McFly a chicken. So when he said that, I was like, all right, I'll do it. And it got over. It was Bailey's like first Wizard World ever. And like she put me on her Instagram page and like everyone was talking to me about it the remainder of the weekend, like, oh, you're the dude that proposed to Bailey. That was real cool. That was real funny. Um, Another cool moment for me was meeting Michael Rooker from Guardians of the Galaxy, Mallrats, and Walking Dead. He was just walking around with a bubble machine. I think we were on our way to go to a photo op, all of us together. And then all of a sudden I see Michael and I go, "Hey, Michael, can I get a quick picture?" And you guys just turn around and you're like, "What the hell is Nico doing?" Because, of course, I'm the baby of the group. And what does the baby do? The baby does whatever he wants. He does not listen to his
So
elder.
jelly.
Yep. And I got a free photo with Michael Rucker while he's blowing a bubble machine. It was hilarious. That was a cool moment. Uh, Meeting Velvet Sky for the first time. I actually met Lisa Marie Veron while I was waiting to meet Paige for the very first time. Went up to some random lady who I saw talking, and I go, "Excuse me, is this the line for Paige?" She turns around. I was like, "Oh my God, it's Victoria from WWE! Holy shit!" I was like, "Hey, can I get a quick pic?" Got a picture. That was a cool moment. Meeting Thomas Ian Nicholas from American Pie, and if you're a Chicago Cubs fan, Rookie of the Year. Henry Rowan Gardner, the greatest pitcher in Chicago Cubs history. Just cool moments like that. Wizard World's a fun con. Always been one of my favorites. And I can't wait to go back.
Very nice stories, Nico. Wildcard, go ahead with your.
Oh man, yeah. I figured that I'd go into this, but it's a long list of celebrities that I have met. I am definitely going to condense this because it's going to be another half an hour, 45 minutes if I go on a rant about all the celebrities and all the experiences that I've had. So I'm just going to filter this out into the ones that I distinctively remember the most. Becky Lynch was definitely one that I will always remember. Reason being, you will see in the photos that we will promote and that you will see in the collage. You'll see. But basically, I was in my Johnny Cage cosplay, and I don't know what came over me. I decided to do my little own version of a proposal to the man at the time, who was at the time known as the Last Kicker. It was awesome. I think I could be wrong, but I think I may have made him blush a little bit. So, but that was just like, damn, what the hell did I just do? But that was an awesome moment. Because it was just something that I just like, okay, what. It was kind of like something that I just like pulled out of my ass there. I'm just like, wait, why did I do that? What the hell did I just do? But that was fun though. I had a good time with that. Also meeting the Hardy Boys the first year that we had the booth. That's something that was huge for me. Just for the circumstances, I won't go into the huge details of this, but the fact that we were one of the first few to actually meet the Hardy Boys, I mean, that was awesome. Because they were one of the best tag teams in the world, I think, and the fact that we got a chance to all of us, not just a few of us, but all of us got into the photo op with them. I thought that was probably a huge thing for us because we had some connects there that helped us out with that. But that was definitely one. From a non-wrestling standpoint, it's a really hard call on this because I've met quite a few non-wrestling related celebrities, whether it's at their tables or just waiting in line. But recently I would have to say like guys like. There's some cast members from the Shield, Agents of Shield that I've met before. I've also have run into a few other actresses there too from a lot of '90s shows there too. Melissa Joan Hart, Danielle Fisher, who you remember as Topanga Lawrence from Boy Meets World. Ryder Strong, Ben Savage. And just the list goes on and on. So I mean, I don't want to go into my own spiel. And truth is, I'm sure that I there's some that I don't even remember meeting because there was just so many. But that's the best part about the experience of being in Wizard World is that you get a chance to chat with a lot of the celebrities there and take a photo with them, get an autograph from them. So it's a great experience. So. I hope to have more of those when we're allowed to.
Very nice, EJV. Let's hear your favorite celebrity moments.
Well, to be honest, I didn't meet a lot of non-celebrities because at the time I was mainly into meeting a lot of wrestlers because that's what my big thing was. I didn't really get into meeting a lot of the non-celebrities until C2E2 2018 with the other con. But Wizard World, probably my favorite meet and greet probably happened at our booth, and that was Billy Gunn, Austin Gunn, and Velvet Sky when they showed up. That one right there, meeting all three of them, especially meeting Velvet, who is, I'm head over heels over that woman back then, still am to this day. Bully Ray's one lucky bastard. Yeah, getting to meet her, getting to meet Billy, of course, who I'd met back when I was like 8 years old in 1999. And then getting to meet his son Austin, who now we see on AEW, was pretty awesome. And every time I see Austin, it makes me think back to that time. It makes me think back to 2017 when they were at our booth and just having a glorious time and just enjoying what we offer. And that's a great feeling when people like that can come over and just have a good time and not be strict as, okay, I got 5 minutes to do this, blah blah blah. That's what makes you feel great about the work that you put in. Another one is actually just short from our booth, Ernie Hudson for Ghostbusters, and one of my favorite shows, Oz. It was awesome to actually get to meet him, shake his hand, and just say thank you, for putting on, great movies, great TV shows, and just giving us some great entertainment. And that photo with us, especially me, kind of photobombing in the background at the end, was legendary, and still is one of my favorite photos. That otherwise is that, I mean, meeting Enzo. I know a lot of people have different opinions about Enzo Amore, but he was one of the nicest guys that I've ever met. He was really nice. Of course, he was Enzo, with his a little bit of cockiness and arrogance, which is expected from a guy like him. But he was really sweet, really nice, and was just appreciative of people coming over, asking how we're doing, and of course, how you doing. But overall, those are some of my favorite experiences at Wizard World. Some of my favorite people that I have met there at the con, and hopefully it won't be the last when we get to Wizard World 2021, which hopefully will still happen. Cross our fingers.
Likewise, yeah. I mean, you covered a lot of my bases there, EJV. So I'm gonna kind of just quickly repeat them. Yeah, so I'm gonna go over them again. Yeah, the Hardy Boys, nothing can top that. I've met Matt 3 times. That was my first time meeting Jeff. Very nice guys. Definitely become even bigger fan of them after meeting them. Velvet Sky, Billy Gunn, Austin Gunn, all showing up at the entrance booth. Incredible. You can see that video on our YouTube channel. We just kind of posted that recently. So yeah, I can't beat that. The how enthusiastic they were about doing the entrances and how funny they were with it. It was just incredible. Also, shout out to Ernie Hudson as well. Thank you for stopping by and just coming to see some fans. Very friendly guy. But yeah, I'll go over some of my other favorite celebrities really quick. George Lowe, Space Ghost, like mentioned earlier, really funny guy. Said, that'll be $10 for this crap before I got an autograph. I thought that was a hysterical line. Twisted, just their views of conventions in general makes me have a big amount of respect for them. Meeting Michael J. Fox with my girlfriend the first year we went to Wizard World together back in 2016. Love that photo. Back to the Future is one of my all-time favorite movies, so meeting the man in person himself was very incredible, very surreal feeling. And then meeting the cast of Boy Meets World, being able to get a photo with the cast that was there, us together, it was pretty nice. Very surreal seeing that. Well, I didn't get time to chat with them. Danielle Fischel actually was like, whoa, you're wearing an NWO shirt. That's awesome. Yeah, apparently she's a wrestling fan too. Didn't get to promote it. Otherwise, I'd say, hey, why don't you guys do a entrance at our booth and join the Mr. Feeney cosplayer. Shout out to Raxton Cosplay, very good guy. But yeah, I mean, I could probably go on and on about the celebrities. One last one I'm going to give a quick shout out to is DDP. Gave me a Diamond Cutter as Disco Stew, and Wildcard and I and my girlfriend Rocky did do a yoga session with him at Starcast, so that was very fun. But I'm going to cut myself off from going over more stories because there's plenty to share. But thank you, Wizard World, for those awesome experiences. I can't go on enough about.
Yeah, in Wizard World.
It was. So, unfortunately for the rest of the video, Nico won't be available to join us. You'll likely see a quick blurb from him before the end of the video, before we cut away to the cosplay package that we have. But kind of to go on, what were you guys' favorite cosplays that you guys personally have done, and any favorite photo shoots, be it our own, or like anything that can even be non-wrestling related. Do you guys have any favorites? I'd like to hear.
I guess I'll lead off on this one here.
Yeah, because it'll take you about an hour to get through all of them.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that, man. I'm gonna condense this though, man. So I going back to the first question, I guess that was that we talked about there too, with the first topic, our first Wizard Worlds. I didn't really mention that when I started cosplaying. I started cosplaying at about 2014. That's when the first year I started cosplaying. That was actually my first cosplay ever, and it was Ryu from the video game Street Fighter. You know, it was something that I was curious about. I wasn't sure how it was going to go over, but it turned out to be a huge success. I mean, I had people asking me for photos. They thought I looked awesome in it. And that's when I knew. I was just like, you know what? This is my thing. I love it. And I just ran with it the whole time. So definitely my very first cosplay turned out to be a huge success, and it's still one of my favorites. And then, as mentioned before, I did Johnny Cage, and I didn't think I was going to do better, but I guess I did with my Johnny Cage cosplay, and boy, did I get some kind of turnout with that. And you know, I thought that was that was a lot of fun to do, man. And in terms of wrestling cosplays, wow, that's a tough one for me. You know, I've I'd have to go between two that I favor the most. My Dean Ambrose one in his Shield attire, that was definitely a huge one that I really enjoyed. And of course, there's Kenny Omega. You know, that definitely is one that I really enjoyed doing. And those two, I really felt like I really knocked it out of the park with those. And you know, I mean, in terms of like group photo shoots that I've done, I haven't really done a whole lot outside of our own, like outside of Too Sweet Cosplays. But you know, for the most part, you know, just just cosplaying at Wizard World has always been something that I've always favored. Even last year, you know, you know, unfortunately was not able to, you know, since we weren't able to get the booth last year, we were able to at least go to the con itself, and I spent most of the time in the lobby just taking photos in my cosplay, and those are probably the most fun times. Even if you don't have a badge or can't get into the con floor at all, just go to the lobby and see all the cosplayers. But you know, I think Johnny Cage and Ryu are probably ones that stand out to me the most because I had the most fun with those.
All right, EJV, let's hear your take.
You know, when I first started cosplaying, it was something that I wasn't too interested in at first. I mean, the Bray Wyatt thing I did was pretty cool. It was just kind of a quick throw together. But the two that really stand out, actually, the three that I mainly do, and the ones that stand out to me, the first one being Kevin Owens, because I debuted that at another con in 2016, and I started debuting it at all the wrestling events to go to, all the takeovers, all the WWE events, and it just started to take off, and it became basically my signature cosplay. But then I got a certain bird mask, and then that changed. And then, of course, I brought the villain, Marty Scurll. And I know people are going to probably say shit about Marty, but with what's going on with him and the allegations, but who the fuck cares? It became my signature cosplay again, and really it brought a lot of attention from wrestling fans and non-wrestling fans, especially those who know of the history of the bird mask being going back to the bubonic plague, when people would wear them to protect themselves from getting the plague. So I even had a little girl who knew me who said, "Plague Doctor, can I get a photo with you?" And I remember that still to this day. And I took a photo with her with the umbrella, the Bullet Club umbrella, the hat, the whole getup. And it became just something of its own, something I didn't realize would take off as well as it did. And it became kind of the signature cosplay for Too Sweet Cosplay in a sense. And then of course the bad boy Tama Tonga, you know. That was something that I've been wanting to do for years, ever since I became a fan of Tama's and the face paint, which isn't hard to do, but if you don't know how to apply face paint, it is hard to do. And I'm not an artist by any means. So, but I gave it a shot and it worked out really well. And that was becoming another one. And then, of course, this one making its debut either this year, next year. So we'll talk about that later on. I'd never done any photo shoots outside of the Too Sweet Cosplay ones, but my favorite one is the first one we ever did, the 2017 photo shoot at Wizard World. That one is absolutely. We had almost 40 people there. It was a big group. We had so much fun that day. I remember, of course, one of the photos I posted to Steve-O is Wildcard here hitting his famous V trigger to our good friend Kid Riot, aka Nathan. Shout out to him and his Pentagon Junior cosplay.
Yeah, Nate, I still owe you a drink for that, man.
Yeah, he's still got a lawsuit is still pending too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. And then of course we had, that's where we first met a lot of people there that we became friends with, with Dennis Day and Courtney Martin, shout out to them, and just so many other people. That was probably the best photo shoot. That one and our last one that we did for the when we first got our first ever panel. That one was phenomenal. That one was great too.
Yeah, that
So
was great.
yeah, so those are some of my favorite cosplays and favorite moments, or favorite shots from Wizard World. And trust me, there's plenty more to come from this group.
Yeah,
Believe
sure.
that. As
Yeah,
one great to say.
Oh yeah, yeah. So many great moments. As far as my cosplays, let me try to narrow this down the best I can. I'm gonna start off Brack. He was one of my favorite cosplays. I cosplayed as Brack from Space Ghost, the Brack Show, etc., etc. That was a fun cosplay. Something I forgot to mention, Stevie Richards actually asked to get a photo with me while I was walking the con. I believe that was in 2010. 2011. He stopped to get a photo with me. I wish I got one with him, but I didn't want to be pushy. But yeah, that was a fun cosplay to do. 2012, I actually debuted a cosplay before the movie even came out in Wreck-It Ralph. And I did a non-wrestling cosplay shoot that year. It was the Marvel/Disney photo shoot. That was a lot of fun. It was kind of a weird mix. People didn't really know who Wreck-It Ralph was at the time. But then when the movie came out, they're like, oh shit, you were Wreck-It Ralph before the movie came out. Like the second I saw that trailer during E3 weekend, I was like, oh my god, I gotta cosplay that guy. I could easily do that. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Some of my favorite wrestling cosplays done at Wizard World. I love doing the Big Boss Man. Got a photo of Michael J. Fox with that on. And then also, yeah, a lot of old school fans were like, oh my god, Boss Man, that's so awesome. So hearing them praise that made me happy. I was like, okay, I'm glad I did it well to those fans. And then also, yeah, I'm just trying to think here. There's a lot I could go over, but I always have fun doing Al Snow. He's always an enjoyable one. Very simple, but very, very fun. The mannequin head. I always had to have my girlfriend paint the help me on my forehead to kind of get that thing across. But yeah, no, nothing beats a Too Sweet Cosplay photo shoot. I'm just going to say that. Like, the creativity of everybody's cosplays, whether it's from the 80s wrestling, modern day wrestling, New Japan, ROH, you name it. Like, if you're at one of our photo shoots and you're a wrestling fan, you're going to see something from almost any walk of life. We even invite funny themes like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy, of course, played by Dave Bautista. He showed up at our first ever Wizard World photo shoot. That is it for this episode of Too Sweet Converse, episode number 17. Thank you all for watching. Please, before we say, this week we do not have a cosplayer of the week. That feature will return next week. So make sure you do submit your cosplay submission to us.
Wait for it. Send us your stuff.
Yes, on Facebook or Instagram, or if you even need to email it, you can email it to us on toosweetcosplay@gmail.com. But try the social media first. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the Too Sweet Cosplay channel on YouTube just to make sure you don't miss out on any updates. Follow us at Too Sweet Cosplay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And let us know what you thought of this video as well as our prediction
Yeah.
video this week.
Yeah,
So,
I just point out one more thing. I mean,
yeah, of course.
yeah, it's just cons will be back. I think they will be back. Whether they be back in full capacity or not, we don't know. But they will be back, and we hope to be back soon because, after talking, extensively about our Wizard World experiences, it made me realize that, how much we give back to the community, at least the con community, and how much I miss it. And I'm sure you guys do too. I want to get back into it soon, whenever the opportunity arises, man. And, we just want to just get the ball rolling with this because, Too Sweet Cosplay is, we're still going strong and we ain't stopping.
Yeah, definitely. And, we talk about Wizard World today. And to be honest, without Wizard World, in my opinion, Too Sweet Cosplay would not be where it is today because they gave us the first opportunity, the first crack to show who we are and show the creativity that we have and the overall ability to show that wrestling is still popular, wrestling is still fun, and to show that wrestling and cosplay can go together because that was a problem. A lot of wrestlers back in the day thought cosplayers were just pretend wrestlers, same thing as backyard wrestlers. And that's not the case. Wrestling and cosplay do go together, and we prove that 100% every single damn time. And we want to say thank you to Wizard World for giving us that first opportunity. Like you said, thank you to Jonathan, thank you to Sammy, thank you to every person who has given us this opportunity, this platform. And 3 years later, we're still here, and we hope to be back at Wizard World next year, bigger, stronger than ever. So look out, guys. Too Sweet Cosplay is coming for your ass.
All right. Yeah, Too Sweet Cosplay is here to stay. So get used to it and be a part of it. And as we close out the video and bid you all adieu, go check out these cosplay moments. Too sweet, y'all. Have a great week.